Hola!
It is that time. How are we? How is everyone? Hello.
Hello to everyone out there that may be watching. I'm Christian, part of the Expert Zone UK and I team. This is my colleague Ben. Say
Hello,
hello, Ben.
everyone. Ben, part of the Expert Zone UK and I team, working with Microsoft as well. What's good, Christian?
Lots of things after yesterday. A
For
whole
sure.
world of goodness coming our way, and I can't wait for certain things that we saw yesterday. So, in case any of you aren't sure why we're here to talk about the Xbox games showcase from yesterday and Starfield Direct and
Ooh,
the value that they're going to add to Game Pass. Now, we already know Game Pass is absolutely awesome with the day one content, the amount of exclusive games that we've got, but they've just dropped loads of stuff that's going to add to this. Fair to say, Ben?
May, more than fair to say. To be honest, it was a good 2 hours back to back stream. And man, Xbox needed this. And to me personally, they came through with it. And as we said, the core foundation is Game Pass. So we're going to get into a lot more of what that means for Game Pass and just gamers that are all about Xbox. Oof.
Oh, we saw a lot of goodness, but quick fire question for you, Ben. Which game were you most excited about that was not Starfield?
Ooh, I'll be honest with you, it'll probably be the obvious would be Forza Motorsport for obvious reasons, which we're gonna get to that part of the discussion of the easy reacts. But I would say is City Skylines
Yeah,
2
yes.
really as for me, it tapped into the old school kind of tycoon games, right?
Yeah.
So I again, I didn't expect it, but I looked at it and I thought, oh, I would actually back this game. So away
Yeah,
from the obvious that people know me for Forza for, yeah, City Skylines.
you and your Gears fetish.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, great. It completely took me by surprise. Let's just say a quick hello to people in the chat. So we've got Jack in the chat, Scott, Gary. So there's quite a few, there's people in chat already. And Gary has shouted Fable. Fable's been
Fable,
waited for a long time. We do want to know in
Fable.
chat if you guys watch the stream or not, and what game that you guys are most excited for. Because obviously, if you guys are getting excited for it, and it's a collective of people going, "This is the game we want to play."
Yeah,
They're the games we want to be talking about, right?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're not wrong in that retrospect. Saying hi to everyone as well. Tassin as well. Hello over from Twitch. Appreciate you joining. Jack, we've got you in here as well. Appreciate you being here, Jack. Thank you for joining. Scott, I see you. You're in there as well. Post reaction of Game Showcase and Starfield Direct. Really, really happy to have you all here. Jack is saying 100% to Starfield. My goodness.
I mean, we are going to
Ambitious.
talk about Starfield, right?
Yeah,
We are
yeah,
going to talk about it, but we're
yeah.
going to do what Xbox did and save it for last.
No, definitely, definitely, definitely. It was so much taken in for that. And this stream won't give us enough time to talk about every single game, but we're gonna narrow down the ones that really speak, the Xbox ethos of gaming, as well as obviously everything and how that empowers the experience that comes with Game Pass.
I mean, there were some really strong games on it. That start, that first start before we even saw Sarah Bond was really strong, and we saw Fable, and the Fable
Oh,
trailer literally, like, one, had me in stitches, and two, I was super excited for. We had South of Midnight and Star Wars, which someone's mentioned, but this
absolutely.
Fable trailer was just brilliant, and obviously there's certain people that are in it that got me super excited as well. But this isn't just this is a new beginning for Fable as well. So it's like it's the legendary new beginning for it. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it looks amazing. It's not out until 2024. I'm going to
Yes.
get excited for this game. What about yourself, Ben?
I really liked it. That was the first game that they kicked off straight from the jump. Didn't leave anyone second guessing what was coming with it.
No.
Fable's looking really, really good. It's looking playful. It's looking cheerful. It's looking fun. You know, it's looking, it's got a different energy to it. I'm really liking, so I'm really glad they kicked it off with it. And we know Fable's dear to the heart of Xbox gamers as well.
Exactly. And we saw a lot of exclusives. Like we've got Hellblade playing underneath us here as well. And this is one of the things that really took me by surprise was the amount of games coming day one to Game Pass. Game Pass is Fable, Hellblade. Like you're a massive Hellblade fan, right? So
big time. Big
the
time.
mental health aspects, you know, the gameplay.
Yeah.
That we've got some big games coming over the next year that not only just it takes Game Pass almost to that next level. You know, Hellblade's on there already, you can play, but we've been waiting for a new one for a while now. And again, it's included with your Game Pass subscription and it's day one. So it's not like, you know, it's the way to play games now for us.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of another way that I want to play my games. But let me know your thoughts on Hellblade, Ben, because I know you're excited about this. I know you're looking forward to it.
I really, really, really love what the guys at Ninja Theory just pulled off from, you know, previous generation of the first experience of Senua's saga. And really it's down to this. It's the creation of the game, the technical side of it that aids to the experience. So they've really gone into like motion capture being very high quality.
Yeah.
And they really invested in doing it with something known as binaural audio that gives a raw surround sound experience, because there's a lot of the mental aspects of it where she's hearing a lot of voices in her head. And if you play it with a headset on and how it's mastered with binaural audio, you can really hear it from different places and the immersion is different, right? And this is where they really want to showcase it on the series console. So we're really going to see them push it and elevate that kind of environmental, slower paced, you know, cinematic feel. It looks intense, and I just can't wait.
And look, so obviously you've mentioned the voices in the head. That's a really good topic to talk about. Not only just like the mental health aspects, but from what we do, we're talking to like RPs and to consumers. Actually, it's a really good experience with a headset because you can get that sort of like surround sort of sound with your Xbox headset, and it will give you that more immersive feel with what Senua is hearing as well, which is like a really, really good way of looking at it. You know, it touches on so many different aspects of that game, and it's just, again,
looks intense.
First party title. So it's from Xbox Studios. Fable is from Xbox Studios. They are coming to Game Pass day one, which means that you will be able to pre-download them ready for day of release when they give us an announce date. And then Avowed as well.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
We've seen gameplay for this as well, and it's again they're stacking games that have just high quality on top of each other that you could have gone and spent a lot of money to purchase this game separately, but by being a PC user or by being an Xbox player with a Game Pass subscription, these are at your fingertips instantly.
And Avowed is looking good, man. It's looking just like, you know, the magical powers, the projectiles, you know, it's looking very, very good. This is a game where it's probably a bit out of my personal comfort zone in terms of the type of games I like to play, but you know, that's the beauty of it being on Game Pass, right? Game Pass gives you the opportunity to dive into certain games without the need of having to worry about, hey, is it a game that's going to suit my needs or not? Have I spent that money up front? It just makes it that much more accessible. So again, it's another big win. Day one available on Game Pass once it's out. Ooh.
And that's exactly the right. That's a really good way of thinking of it. There's probably some games during the stream that aren't necessarily my type of games, but I can try them if they're day one on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's not you're not spending money to try stuff that you might not enjoy.
And it's the biggest when we say to people, you know, when we talk about why Game Pass, right? It's choice. It's giving you control and choice, and just that ease of being able to feel more free to maybe come out of your usual gaming comfort zone in terms of the genres that, you know, we all thought were probably more accustomed to. So love to see it. Love what we've seen so far with the initial previews of Fable, with Avowed, and of course, Hellblade 2. Yeah, that's my gig.
Yeah. So the amount of games that we saw there was quite a lot of games that we saw. There were some that are announced. So we saw things from 12 different Xbox studios. be
yeah,
it sort of expansions or whatever that will come to Game Pass. We've seen other things from third-party studios as well that are going to come to Game Pass on day one as well. So if I counted correctly, I believe there's 27 games that were announced.
yes.
And of those 27 games, 21 of them will come to Game Pass day one.
Day one. Massive.
Day one.
Massive.
I mean,
And that's a perfect
huge
blend. That's a perfect blend of first-party Xbox studios, game studios, and also our collective collaborative partnerships with other game studios that are pretty much bringing that in with official dates on some of them as well, which we're going to talk about next.
Yeah, like 100%. And we actually got more official dates for stuff than I sort of expected to.
Yeah.
We saw one of the big ones, which is a really popular game. We saw Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves,
yeah.
20th of July, The Legend of Monkey Island. This is
Yep.
a collaboration with Lucasfilms Games.
Lucasfilms, yes, absolutely. Cool.
Sea of Thieves is coming as an expansion for Sea of Thieves. That's super exciting to see. It's got a massive following, and it's hopefully going to renew some people's love as well. Like everything, games move on, people try new things, but it sort of draws you back. It's like when Legends was released, it was like, oh, hang on, I'm going straight back to Minecraft for that.
Back to Minecraft, and I do remember our Legends session, and it was really good. And it's great to have that. An official release date on that would be on the 20th of July as well. It's really, really empowering just how stacked things are looking, right? So there is something for everyone to really delve in and enjoy. We've got Miguel that's saying hello. Hello, Miguel. Thank you for joining as well. We've got TNC that's talking about Fable, Forza, and the new Star Wars. Of course, other games that were mentioned as well.
Just to answer Miguel's question, we work with Microsoft. So we work with Microsoft to create content. So we're not direct Microsoft employees per se, but we work with Microsoft to create training assets and to talk about stuff like Game Pass with RPs and consumers.
And hopefully that answers your question, Miguel. Thank you so much for joining. We much do appreciate it.
So, third-party game that I was super excited for, we got to get a date for. Payday.
Payday. I was waiting for you to drop it before I started.
Payday. Honestly, Game Pass Day 1.
Yes.
Game Pass Day 1, which was a surprise. I was super excited for this. And again, if you've played that previous franchise, the third iteration is there. And as you can see, Game Pass and Xbox, and it's coming the 21st of September. There's a lot of good games coming between now and the end of the year. So if you work out some of the games that are coming, we won't name them all because we're going to go into those. But actually, the cost of Game Pass per year for some of the games that are coming, it's cheaper than just buying games individually. And we've mentioned...
Yeah, go on. We're both so excited.
Someone has, Jack said about Starfield, and there's a deluxe version of Starfield that's like £100. If you didn't want to buy a deluxe version, you could effectively get a lot of Game Pass for that money. And you could potentially play Starfield, you could play Payday, you can play, back catalogs. It's endless, the stuff that people can get involved with and play. And what's key to mention with some of this is some of it will be Xbox exclusive and some of it will be Xbox and PC available as well.
Oh yeah. And I love what they said, where they see it as a platform, they see it as a market. So the PC gamers, like myself, I love Xbox. I got my Series X, but I just got a new graphics card. I still love to look after the gaming PC and show it love where it needs to. It's really good to hear that, and it's awesome. It's awesome. And again, when we get to Starfield at the end, especially the technicals that they've really pushed through, and some of the things we were speaking about when we were watching the stream and having our mini reaction before getting here. Yeah, I can't wait. This is good stuff. This is really, really good stuff. Yes, Payday, 21st of September. We're really looking forward to that.
We've got a date for Sea of Thieves. We've got a date for Payday. There's the Flight Sim update coming. Persona. Persona 5 Tactica. There's... honestly, the Dune update. I don't know about any of you. I love Dune.
Man, this is fidelity and immersion to the max. This looks awesome. What an update in line with the next Dune that's coming out. That's just, I didn't see this part coming at all. None.
No,
Did not
no,
expect it.
I didn't. And one of the things I love about Flight Simulator is it's available free to play on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I keep mentioning it, but the detail that goes into that game is unreal. I know people that play. They will literally fly from London to like Singapore, and they will do the whole flight.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big cult following for that game, and it's available PC, and you can play it on Xbox. You know, I remember it used to be just a PC game, if you remember. You can now play it on your Xbox, which is where I'm comfortable. You're a PC gamer, I'm an Xbox player. It's bringing those worlds together, isn't it?
This just looks insane. that's the best way. The photorealism of how these worlds are scaled when it comes to aviation. And of course, yes, we've got the Dune update based on the fact that it's going to be a great expansion, 3rd of November, straight after you watch the film. It's on the flight simulator that we know and love. But even then, if we talk about Flight Simulator 2024, just the additional stuff that you're able to do in there in terms of aircraft, ambulance carry. I was just seeing stuff in there, and I was like, they're taking it to a place where, you know, people of, you know, aviation, that love aviation, flight, and overall simulation and realistic, you know, experiences of it. Yeah, this is a good look. We're loving it.
One of the key things to mention around a lot of these games as well. So, you know, flight sims come in, Sea of Thieves updates come in. We've got Payday that's coming, that's got a release date. Fable. A lot of these games, the previous iterations or the previous catalogs are available to play already. So if there are games that you want to try, you want to get into, you can start playing some of these games ready for when the new ones release. So you can get your controls for Flight Simulator. If you've never tried it, you can hop on Flight Simulator now on Game Pass and start playing it. And it's the same with some of the other games, like Sea of Thieves is on there. You can start playing Sea of Thieves to get ready for the new Monkey Island update. You know, we're releasing these, or you know, Microsoft are releasing these new games and this new content. Actually, there's all that back catalogue that's already there, ready to play. So you don't necessarily have to wait for release date to start getting involved and start playing some of those games.
Absolutely. It's the strength of Xbox Game Studios, right?
Yes.
You know, a lot of these new intellectual property IP games coming out, you know, they are from studios that have made and know how to make these timeless, captivating franchise-based games, and they are available, like you said. That is again the base and the foundation of this whole show. If you really saw it, was Game Pass is the front and center of really having the best way to experience it all without having to think twice. You know, we really love the look of it. And if you consider even another game that has an official date, again, the one that caught me by surprise, City Skylines, man. City Skylines, it just looks phenomenal. And it just reminds me of my old school world building games that we just used to play. And I think I was more surprised at the fact that I saw it and I was like, wow, this is where we are right now. To have this level of scale and photorealism at the palm of your hands and how you create it, there we have it. 24th of October, City Skyline, Xbox Game Pass, and with the power of the Series X and S to showcase it. Brilliant.
So one of our colleagues, Hannah, is currently in Scotland. I have just had a message from Hannah, and there are games on Game Pass already called Persona. And her message reads, Persona 3 remake, exclamation marks. Super excited for this as I'm a huge Persona fan. Already a great original game, but Persona do remakes with extra content as well. Plus it looks like it's mixing in a lot of the art style / mechanics of Persona 5, which is my favorite in the series mechanically. And that's yes, we've seen Persona remake announced, Persona 5 Tactica, but the Persona games are already on Game Pass. And this is why Hannah's super excited about it, is because she's playing those games on Game Pass already, and there's more content coming for her to enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be surprised, like, the amount of times where you go on Game Pass and you know your staple of games are already there, but then you just feel, I just saw this. Is it something that's refreshing? Really, is a new experience, and it's going from strength to strength to just know that, especially with how the consoles are developing as well, and how we're getting more people that are able to access them as well, which we're going to talk about a bit more later. It's lovely to see this. So yes, Persona, free, Reloaded, and Tactica.
Exactly. And actually, before we go into consoles, there's a big one I know you're super excited for. On the 10th of October, we are going to see
Forza Motorsport. And I'm saying this as a petrolhead, a fellow petrolhead, actually, followed by you, Christian, because you're very much like myself.
If it goes fast and I can get in it, I'm in.
Dude, this is big. And we said this from our previous developer direct when we went through it, that this is Forza Motorsport. Yes, the previous iteration was Forza Motorsport 7, but this isn't a numbered one. So this is a reworking from the ground up in how on the track Forza is playing. Now, this is nothing against my Horizon fans. I love Horizon, the open world playground, but I love tarmac. I love the apex. I love braking, the smell of tires, tire degradation. So many different dynamics that goes into it. But what makes it special is Forza are still carrying on that great tradition of having early access to cars that aren't even out yet. the place where you're going to be playing exclusive cars, and this is a great partnership that they've lined up with General Motors, with Cadillac specifically with their V Series R Le Mans prototype race cars, which look absolutely futuristic, V8 power with hybrid powertrain in there, so combined output just ridiculously crazy. And of course, what I'm really loving is Chevy with the Corvette, but new generation E-Ray, right? A V8 again with battery hybrid power, and I'm gonna get to play it first and only on Forza Motorsport on the track. Yeah, sign me up.
I was just checking a couple of bits around Forza then while you were talking as well. And what you've Motorsport it's a slightly different beast to Horizon, but Horizon 4 and 5 are there ready to play with all those exclusive cars. They are on Game Pass ready to play right now. So you can get sort of into that driving world. You can go and do tracks. Forza Motorsport is a complete sort of, overhaul. It's going to be completely different. It is more of a racing sim. And it is now available to pre-install for your Xbox console or your PC.
Yep.
So as of yesterday, it's ready to install for pre-install. We've been waiting for a date for Forza Motorsport for quite a while now, but it comes back to that back catalog. Are they ready to play? And the graphics look unreal on this. We're going to spend a lot of time playing Forza Motorsport.
Honestly, it's and they previewed it before, not even just from the technical side of things. So much work went into accessibility on Forza Motorsport. The team really wanted to make sure that a lot more people felt easily inclusive in being able to access such a gameplay, and that really makes me happy. As a fellow petrolhead, I really want more people to enjoy the dynamics of what a true racing sim really feels like. Again, it's a technical showcase with things like being able to run at 4K, having realistic lighting, because these cars are built to look amazing. And realistic lighting aids to really seeing it, and it looks phenomenal. And again, I know they're probably going to show more closer to the time, end of the quarter for the year. But I'm glad we have a date, Christian. 10th of October, Forza Motorsport. Bring it on.
And they've spent a lot of time with accessibility features in Forza Motorsport as well, haven't they? So it really is an inclusive game. So not only is it's there ready to pre-download for when you get a date. We've got a date, 10th of October. It's there, ready to download. You can play the previous catalogue. There's sort of a reoccurring theme here, isn't there, to a lot of games that has been announced.
No, but we love it. It's consistency, right?
It's consistency. But along with that, these games are getting more realistic. They're getting sort of more in detail. Games are getting bigger. So along with that, we also saw an announce of a new Series S.
Ooh, course.
I mean, this looks slick, right?
It does. For those that don't know, this is a new stock keeping unit SKU version of the Series S in carbon black, but specifically with double the internal storage of 1 terabyte up from the 512. And yeah, perfectly done. New member of the
Perfectly
Xbox
done.
Series family, welcome. Phenomenal. Absolutely great.
This is due out in September.
Yeah.
So as of when I checked this morning, it is available to pre-order.
Yes,
It's available to pre-order already, but it falls into that world of all these games that we're talking about. They're more in detail. The fidelity's sort of a lot more immersive. They're a better experience, right? But that takes space.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Xbox listened to was the fact that people wanted more storage in the Xbox Series S, and that's what they've done. They've doubled the storage. It's now got the same storage as the Series X, but it's an all digital console. You know, there's a lot of games going on that,
and the thing is, the most important thing you said is because it's an all digital console, it is the perfect mating partner for having Xbox Game Pass. Right.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that other devices and other platforms aren't. We know that with Ultimate, you have the ability to cloud game and stream, which is fantastic. Gives more devices that necessarily aren't built for dedicated gaming to experience what dedicated gaming can feel close to. Like you can have it on the Series X, you've got it on your PC. But having an all digital console, it is so important to really experience the best of Game Pass, and having that flexibility of more space is great, and it's blacked out. Come on.
To answer Jack's question, does the Series S replace the old? Not as far as we're aware. We haven't been told that it will replace. There'll be two variants, effectively, the black version and a white version, as far as we're aware at this moment. Obviously, things are subject to change, but you know, there is a slight price difference in the two, so it gives options there for people as well. You know, if you're buying a device for younger children, and you might not need such a big hard drive, you might be full of things like Minecraft or, you know, other games that are available for that age group, like Grounded and things like that. So it might not be needed. So as far as aware, there's still going to be two consoles, and I think the contrast variant is quite nice. You know, I've currently got an S in my house. I've got an X in my house.
Yeah.
I feel like I now need a black S in my house.
Yeah, of course. It fits in more places. And yeah, so far as we know, that is literally the top line of things. So it's good. It's another addition to the series family. Welcome. Miss Seb there. Hello, Seb. Hi. Forgot to say hi. I want to say in the comments. Hello, Seb. Thanks for joining the stream. Really appreciate you here as well. Quick one for Zane as well. May have to try that game out. Looks good, and that's the benefit of Game Pass. You have Game Pass, you have the ability to try it and not worry about, you know, whether you're gonna like it or not. And I've spent extra money up front. It's really that convenience and control, which is what we love to see.
And that's where the new S sits as well. It gives you the ability to download more games, and you don't have to delete games as often to try those new games. You know, we've got, you know, quite a few releases coming out that are day one for Game Pass. Effectively, you could have more of those games on your console at once and flip between them with things like Quick Resume without having to make space. And that's why they've done the bigger Series S console. You could potentially have Starfield on there. You could have Forza on there. You could have Sea of Thieves and all these other games, and you could just hop between them. It allows you to have more AAA titles on there at once because they're generally a little bit bigger.
And you mentioned Starfield. Oh, you mentioned Starfield.
Before we get to Starfield, though, there's two games that were spoken about from the creators of Starfield. So we saw ESO's Elder Scrolls Necrom, which comes to Xbox on the 20th.
Absolutely.
And we saw Fallout 76
Atlantic
City update.
Yes, sir.
So we're all excited for Starfield. It's the chat's telling us people are excited, but there was other games that we can play ready for it. And again, Starfield is on there to install,
Download and
ready for
install.
release. But
Yep.
to keep us going until that point, you've got Elder Scrolls Online, you've got Skyrim, you've got the whole Fallout series, including Fallout 76, that are available on Game Pass. And there's
Yep.
new content for those series coming as well. So the Elder Scrolls Online is huge. We've got a new Necrom add-on coming. We've got Fallout 76, which is 15 million dwellers. So there's like 15 million. There's a lot. There's a new add-on called Fallout 76. So there's content that the creators of Starfield have created that are available to play.
Yep.
And they made it very clear in the stream, on the Starfield stream, that Starfield is very much a Bethesda game.
Yep.
And
Through and
actually,
through.
those Bethesda games, if you enjoy Fallout, they basically said you're going to enjoy Starfield. I'm a Fallout geek. New Vegas is my favorite game of all time. I'm literally had a heart attack when I saw the stuff that they were talking about.
I love that.
I was like, take my money, take it all.
And do you know what? We did say we doubt they will say anything about Fallout, right? We will there was a pre-discussion from before. So we don't think they're gonna say anything about Fallout. Then all of a sudden you hear the jingle and you see it, and there's sprinkler say, you see, you never know what these guys are gonna do. They're absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. So you're right. So many great games from these studios that are creating new worlds, new experiences, new IPs. They've got franchises and titles that are already there, timeless, that have been expanded, that you can enjoy to get you into that flow of that feeling of a Bethesda game in this particular situation. So we love to see it. We love to see it.
I don't know if there's any Fallout fans out there. A lot of people want to hear about Starfield, so let's talk about Starfield. We've got a release date of the 6th of September. Okay,
look at that.
Day one on Game Pass. So official release date for the base game is the 6th of September, and it looks incredible. And actually, when I watch the character interactions, when I see the different worlds, it feels like a Bethesda game. There's elements of it that feel like Fallout.
Dude, this game, I don't mean to interrupt you. This is a grand scale that I'm just blown. I'm blown. There's parts of this that if you're seeing in the trailer as we're playing it, as we've put it together and kind of everything is real-time simulated.
Yeah.
When it comes to the planets, real time. I was like, what? It's anyway.
You get light represented of each time of day. The sun is represented of how far away it is from the sun. And for any of you guys that didn't watch the stream, they said there is in the region of 1,000 different worlds that you can explore. So, there's a question in the chat: is this going to be huge? Because Starfield is going to be huge. Starfield is, from what's been announced, it's going to be in the region. It's going to be smaller than Jedi Survivor, which is a game that's released fairly recently, which is 150 megabytes.
Yeah, 150.
They've said it's going to be smaller than that. So they reckon it's going to be about 125 gigabytes. So it's not super massive, but by having bigger storage within a Series S, it means you can have more games available ready to go.
Yeah. 100% agreed. This, where do we even begin in terms of breaking Starfield down? I've got some stuff here, right? They went through traits. They talked about skills and ranking system. They talked about ships.
Can I just pause you there?
Yeah, go on.
Traits. They talked about traits. And what I loved about that was, do you remember you used to have a game, you used to have to pick your traits and they're optional.
Yeah.
They're optional that can affect the game, and those traits can make certain parts of the game easier or harder, but they are optional.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick them.
Yeah.
And that really comes down to the customization, doesn't it?
Oh, where do we even go with the customization? If you look at ships, some of the lead artists and designers were talking about, hey, for me, I like to build my ships in the form of animals, and you can make yours as simple as possible as
HMS
complex as
Platypus.
possible. The platypus, spy, that that level of just complex flexibility blows my mind. And I mean, we're talking about things like companionships, the type of team members that you can take with you when it comes to exploring. They were talking about, planets being able to be scanned beforehand so you can see things like gravitational pull,
Resources.
environmental density, resource. That level of mindset is crazy. Being able to create outposts. Do we even get to the weapons and the mods? The different gravities that you're going to be experiencing, how you use your different jetpacks. And Christian, stop me, because
Well,
it was a lot in a good
what
way. I'm blown.
what I took from this is a day one game, and I don't ever mention that this is ready to pre-install, so you can pre-install it. So when it releases, it will download to your console.
Yeah.
But what I took from that is, if I play it and you play it, Ben, we're probably not going to get the same experience from it.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be very much tailored to how you want to play and your experiences. When they talked about customizing ships and having different areas, and the one of the developers talked about having a whole area of their ship just to store sandwiches they'd stolen. I mean, I was on board with that. I was like, the fact I can customize every bit of it to how I want to play it that blew my mind. And the fact that it's included with Game Pass. This is the sort of game, the sort of detail that would be a massive title. We know it's going to be a big release. This would be a huge title, and it's available for you guys to play on the 6th of September with a Game Pass subscription.
Yeah, 9th of September. 9th of September. So 9th of September for Starfield. But it's the power of Game Pass.
It's the 6th of September.
Is it 6th?
It's
Oh,
definitely
6th.
6th,
Yes, you are. Yes, 6th of September. You see, I'm sorry. I'm so excited just based on the fact that if I'm speaking of my personal feeling when I was going through it, I looked at this and I said, this is probably one of the most ambitious games I've seen made in a long while, like attempted in any scale. And to think this is probably the biggest deep dive Xbox has ever done to showcase any of their games. The deep dive is one thing, but we had 45 minutes of them showcasing a game, and that was scratching the surface. Wow.
Hours lost. And there was a couple of other things they announced during that as well.
Oh, yes, they did.
For me, I've got one on right now. The headset.
Yes.
The headset.
Yes,
I was like, I need this in my life.
Yes.
I need that in my life. And I know you were a fan of the controller.
Absolutely. There's so many things that they've done to really showcase being part of the Xbox family, right? As you can see, the new controller there, that really puts it together. And of course, the headset. And I think the stark contrast with one of them holding the headset, one of them holding a controller, you could tell who prefers which. I love the controller. I'm such a fan of just how special controllers make me feel when I want to game. I know a good and special controller makes me feel closer to wanting to game. That's something that is very, 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 near and dear to me. And obviously for you, having that quality to really immerse yourself in with a headset, great microphone, comfort, and look makes a big difference for you as well. So it looks fantastic.
For me, it's very much that I play games late at night, and everyone in the house is asleep. And I'd rather just have a headset on and be quiet than have the TV going, and I can get that sort of immersive experience. So the headset for me, I was really excited, and it was the color contrast of it as well that I absolutely loved. And the great thing about the controller then is that you absolutely love is Series S, Series X. You can play it on PC, you can use it with your mobile, and although this was the Xbox games showcase, Starfield is coming to PC. It's coming to cloud. You can use those accessories with your PC, your Xbox, your tablet if you want to, your mobile phone. You can use that accessory on anything.
And to back you up on what you're saying, we look at Xbox as three parts. There's more to Xbox. So I always see Xbox as not just the consoles, but Xbox as a service and also Xbox as an experience, right? Across.
Yeah.
And what you said makes such a good difference. And if we look at what is being said, by Gupex, and it says the controller looks so good. I could not agree with you more because it's just awesome. And Jack booking annual leave right now just to play this game.
I believe it too.
Oh man, this is it's phenomenal. Like I said, from traits to skills and rank system, ships, companionships, the new Explorer watch as well that they showcased as well,
For the
which
deluxe edition, yeah,
yeah,
the
with the deluxe edition.
deluxe edition, yeah.
Yeah, it's the new Explorer watch, the ability to scan planets. I again, for everything I took in, I wasn't overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed in a way where I was like, wow, this is where we are now with games. This is the kind of scaling they can do now. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on.
So we've spoken about it, and one of the things I think is key to mention here is that this is the Xbox Game Studio announce.
Yeah.
But these games will come to multiple different platforms. There's three tiers of Game Pass. There's Game Pass, there's PC Game Pass, and there's Game Pass Ultimate. There's console, PC, and you can play it on most things, right? And the great thing about that is you're really not limited on your tier of subscription where you can play a lot of these games. Xbox have made it really accessible to a lot more people with Game Pass. Whether you want to play it just on your Xbox, whether you want to play it just on your PC, or like myself, you want to play it across two different Xboxes, your PC, your phone. I play games wherever I'm in the mood to play games, and sometimes I'm nowhere near a console. Sometimes it is just a mobile phone that I will use.
Yeah. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Play wherever you want, however you want, with the people you want. It's a great experience in that sense. And as we said, for all the games announced, 21 available on Game Pass day one. If there's anything you can take away from these awesome games that are being developed in-house with all the Xbox Studio games, whether it's Obsidian, Asobo Studio, Bethesda, to the partner studios that are helping, with games like Payday 3, City Skylines, all coming day one, it's Game Pass. If you've doubted it, I think you should have a bit more confidence to see that this is such an awesome way to experience gaming in more ways, more times. Especially my one for me is trying games out of your comfort zone, right? So yeah, Xbox
the games, a
game
list of the games coming day one: Starfield, Payday 3, Forza Motorsport, City Skylines 2, Dune update for Flight Simulator, so the update, Persona Tactica 5, just sent, Persona 3 Reload, Still Wakes the Deep, which is a third-party title, which looked incredible. Avowed, Flight Simulator 2024, Hellblade 2, like Senua Saga, Dungeons of Hinderburg, Towerborn, Fallout 76, Clockwork Revolution, Kutsami game, Path of the Goddess, and South of Midnight. South of Midnight looks incredible. I'd love to see more of that gameplay, like the lore for that, that whole sort of genre.
Yeah, and that was Compulsion Games, part of Xbox Game Studios. It was the second game of the stream. Different vibe, man. Love the guitar of the music, all in game, looked really, really well detailed. They're spoiling us. I feel like we're being spoiled at the minute. So I will take that and enjoy it all day long. Absolutely. Your final takes, Christian. What was the quick fire question for you to finish it off? Your game that you enjoyed the most that wasn't Starfield.
Fable.
Fable.
Fable got me so excited in a I need to play this game now, and waiting till 2024 is going to be absolute torture. It just looked incredible. Like the way the trailer was done, it just drew me in. I was like, yeah, this is the game that I'm looking forward to in 2024 at the moment. But there was quite a few, and one of the things that I loved about the showcase is there was so many different styles of games.
Yeah.
The variety of different games for different styles of players was impressive.
Yeah.
I play different games to you. Hannah plays different games to both of us, and there was games that were great for just about everyone coming day one.
Day one. Oh, this has been great. I'm eager to get these games. I'm gonna preload the ones that I can preload and pre-install. I've got my Game Pass Ultimate. I'm hooked. I'm ready. All I can say is I'm ready. Bring it on. This was such a good showcase to the point where I just didn't think this is the level of scaling that this was going to do. And it just takes Game Pass and the experience with Game Pass strength to strength. And I can't wait for more.
So to give you an idea of current games available to pre-download with Game Pass, with a Game Pass subscription from the announce, we've got Starfield that you can pre-download ready. You also have Payday 3 that you can download with Game Pass. You can pre-install ready. Forza Motorsport is available to pre-install ready for release day. And Cities Skylines 2 is available to pre-install and download ready for release date. So we're going to see on the 6th of September, we've got Starfield that's coming off those. We're going to see Payday 3 on the 21st of September, day one with Game Pass. We're going to see Forza Motorsport the 10th of October, day one with Game Pass, and City Skylines 2 on the 24th of October, day one with Game Pass. Just from that announce. And then that's separate of expansions and other things as well.
Love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, that is our post reaction of the Xbox Games Showcase and first ever Starfield Direct. Such a deep dive, worth the 2 hours going through it, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it as well, and it just shows the value that's constantly being added. I've forgotten the last time I physically went and bought a game now.
Yep. It's a level of convenience and rings. And Gary,
I agree.
A showcase of 2023. Hey, we ain't disagreeing. We are, of course, agreeing.
That's a great comment. I was sat there last night and thought, I'm going to look forward to Starfield and I'm going to have to save £70.
Brilliant. Excellent way to put it.
Need my head on walls. As I have Game Pass, yes.
Absolutely correct,
It's the way forward.
Absolutely the way forward.
And it was a great showcase. We know there's loads of other games coming to Xbox over the next year as well. There's a lot of other games that are coming that have been announced at other announcements during this period as well. But we got some exclusive that we got to announce. Star Wars was announced with Xbox, which I'm super excited for. It's not an exclusive, but it's a game that you'll be able to play. And the strength of the showcase this year really was spot on with all those day one exclusives. So
love it. And again, big Star Wars fan. Ubisoft, the massive entertainment coming 2024. So much to go into.
So my takeaway from today is, if you don't have a Game Pass subscription already, you are probably missing out.
You're missing out. Get on it. It's the right time. Couldn't be a better time with new world experiences coming with games like Starfield.
That's it for today. I've been Christian. This has been my colleague, Ben.
Thank you so much for all joining, all your comments, your engagement. Hope you enjoyed the showcase. And we will most indeed catch you on the next one. Bye.
Ciao.